Welcome to today's Camino segment. This morning, we are taking time to honor a very important but often overlooked part of Hispano history, political conflict. So joining me now to share more about the Hispano legislators who have made a lasting impact on Colorado is award-winning author and historian Virginia Sanchez. Thank you so much for being here and for doing the work.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I enjoy doing this work, and research is just something that I just enjoy doing, either at the National Archives or state archives,
And
museums.
yeah, museums, all of it. And it's good that you're doing the work because a lot of, as a mother, I want my children to learn the actual history, right? What people went through, what families went through. And Colorado's turning 150 this year, which means our state has a lot of history. Can you tell us a bit about the period that you focus on? And this is a kind of like a blow up of her book, you guys, so you can kind of see it. But the history here and what you're focusing on.
Right. Well, the San Luis Valley was settled in 1851. It was settled earlier, but official long-term settlement was 1851. In 1860, then, Congress started taking a look at making a square state in the middle of the map. And they, by 1861, then northern New Mexico, the notch, is displaced into Colorado territory. And it was very difficult for the people because they did not get a vote. They elected their two legislators. This is Jose Victor Garcia and another one, Jesus Maria Varela, to represent them in the first territorial legislature. Well, when they got there, no documents were translated into Spanish for them. This included the House rules. So this is basically the parliamentary law that they have to adhere to in the chamber. So it was very difficult for them. They had to work through an interpreter. And this interpreter did not know the archaic Spanish language that northern New Mexicans spoke. And so things were very difficult. They worked through an interpreter and tried to understand the laws. And but we do have some photos of some of the first territorial legislators. This man here was the first member of the bar, J.A.J. Valdez. And in 1860, then the New Mexico territorial delegate told the congressional members, please don't do this. You know, they are connected to New Mexico by history, culture, tradition, language, community, and all of those things. And he foretold that within 2 years they would petition to be returned to New Mexico. Sure enough, they submitted petitions, wanted to be returned to New Mexico. They were unhappy being in Colorado.
Right.
And just because of their connections to New Mexico.
Of course. And talk about the fact that pleas and petitions, and I know you just discussed, how they were at a disservice, a disadvantage with the interpreter and the state laws and all of that. But what are some of the things that you hope people learn from this? Because I don't think people truly understand how we only see the Anglo version, right? The whitewashed version. Right. And then you don't really get to understand the sacrifice, the adversity, the marginalization that took place, right?
Pardon me, yes. Pleas and petitions, because they submitted, they were pleading legally, to have these documents translated for them in the territory. And in fact, even the laws were not published in Spanish until 1864.
Oh, wow.
So, and then the petitions relates to the number of petitions that they had submitted.
And just go over the reclassification, because I know 7,000, right? So 7,000 New Mexican Hispano settlers, they found themselves reclassified. What does that mean? What is that experience like?
They were displaced from New Mexico into Colorado territory. So their connections to family then is, a different state.
With no choice.
With no choice. No, they had no vote in this. No vote in this. And then, it's just really hard for them because the laws, the taxation laws, and if they're not published in Spanish, they don't know what's happening. So, yeah. And the territory the beginning of Colorado Territory had no money in its treasury. So they went to the federal government to try to get federal monies for these publications. And the comptroller did not understand that they were recently displaced from New Mexico. And he basically said U.S. citizens are, well, basically, he just rejected the idea, and then he said they're not citizens of the United States.
Oh, my goodness.
Which was wrong.
Yeah, that's the dehumanization aspect that we
Right.
talked about in the break. Very powerful, very important book. How can people get their hands on it?
The University of Colorado Press is selling it online. It's available on online booksellers, and you can request it from your local library as well as local booksellers.
Okay, Virginia Sanchez doing the work. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.